Hey. Yeah? You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? I mean, are we the product of some cosmic coincidence, or is there really a God watching everything? You know, with a plan for us and stuff? I don't know, man. But it keeps me up at night.
Okay. Whoa, fuck. Already off to a great start, aren't we? Yes. I do. Fuck this intro. I already messed it up. Should I keep this in? No, fuck it. Welcome to the world of red versus blue. I had a whole bit for this. Whole funny joke. But I ruined it. God, that describes half the fucking channel. Oh, anyways, welcome to the world of red versus blue, the only series that's unironically kind of the longest running web series ever. Even though it ended, but with Bernie Burns back in the control, we don't get to know. It might be coming back, we don't know till it gets new shit. But none of that is confirmed, as always. But anyways, I do love this show, and recently I got back into it while thinking about it. And you know, with the company being brought back to life for the 80th time. Joking. But with all that being said, this is made by Bernie Burns and some of his friends. As I talk about some of the characters, and as I remember, just some random stuff. Because there is, you know, some funny jokes behind some of the lines that I will mention. Because, yes, I watched the director's commentary of all 5 seasons. Yes, I spent like $30-ish collecting all the seasons that were good outside of the new one. And yes, most importantly of all, I did all this before the show fell apart because of the last season and YouTube and them fucking with the YouTube channel. I was here during the fucking end. My experience with the Rooster Teeth community, it fucking dying. I watched, because I walked in near the turning point, right when Warner Bros. Got their grubby hands. Sometime near the end of Ruby's lifespan and after all the seasons of Red vs. Blue came out. That's when I walked into this community, watched season 1, and never watched it again until 2022. I came back and watched everybody fucking die. I hope you guys have a better experience than I did. I watched the whole fucking show die. It was not fun. But it might be coming back. We can have hopes. Anyways. Our characters. Let's start with the Reds first up, because I like, outside of One Blue, I couldn't care for the rest of them, especially through the Gultch Chronicles. Only one of them I like. Church is Church, and Tucker's Tucker, so if you know, you know. I like the Reds more, though, currently. So, Sarge, and yes, he legally renamed himself to Sarge. I fucking love this. He was kind of unironically born and raised in the military. At some point, he became like a plant judge thing, in like HOA at some point, or some shit, I don't remember the joke. He comes from deep Texas, given his accent and he is, for some reason, really into robotics. Despite how he isn't the smartest. He has a way with robots for some reason. And after he got booted from the ODST program, if you know Halo shit, he was transferred to Blood Gulch Outpost number 1. I'll keep that info not in mind. But yeah, Blood Gulch trilogy, you know, I'm gonna keep a lot of the info outside of, like, the Blood Gulch trilogy to a minimum, because after the Blood Gulch trilogy, oh, why am I saying Blood Gulch trilogy? I'm a moron. The Blood Gulch Chronicles, as it's called, or saga, I'm just gonna call it Chronicles, because that's what I know. After the Blood Gulch Chronicles, during the recollection, I don't know, that's what it says on the fucking box. We got a bunch of information that kind of reiterated the entire 5 seasons. And then season 10 existed, and my god, that went from 1 to 10 real fast. Then, just everything existed, because you have seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, really good, more of a comedy than anything else. 6, 7, and 8, wow, that's dark. 9, 10, that went from 10 to 11 real fast. 11 is 11, everybody loves it, or is that 14? I don't know anymore. I don't know, I lose my mind a bit while trying to figure everything out, because I haven't, while this is probably one of my favorite shows, haven't watched it long enough, so my brain is just kind of hodgepodge of what is and isn't real. Did I get any seasons after 14? Okay, I'm losing my mind a bit because I'm trying to think through everything, and I'm realizing I might have finally fucking lost it. But yeah, I'll try to keep any information outside of the Blood Gulch trilogy to a minimum. We didn't really know you said ODSC till, like, somewhere around when they were making season 9. Not 9. 6, 7, or 8. It's 9 and 10 Freelancer Saga. That over there. Let's get to the fucking point. Okay, so yeah. Oh, I scrolled down. Oh no. So yeah, ODST minimum. Anyways, he is just the stereotypical jarhead sergeant. At first, but overall, he cares for everyone. Other than Griff, he hates the Slack and Beaver. He trusts Simmons, as he is second in command and enjoys his ass kicking. He tolerates Donut and loves Lopez because, well, you know, he made him. More about them later. Meet Private Richard Dick Simmons, or just Simmons. He is really smart, just because. As of a time test, he broke, and now he's at Blood Gulch. He is probably one of the smartest people here, and he is Dutch-Irish. That is a fucking plot point. Kid you not. He is just Dutch-Irish. That gets brought up so many times in the fucking series for absolutely no reason. I think it's a joke. I watched a director commentary. I don't remember why. It might have been a joke. It might not have been. I might be misremembering. Keep in mind, I watched these back in 2023 when I bought most of them off of eBay. I got scammed twice on that website, so I like to move on. Anyways, and he is overall pretty good. And I've actually got a fun story about this one. So, the joke, you know, the Vegas Squadron joke, is because one day they were heading somewhere and he was drunk and passed out in the back of their van, I think. It's been a while since I heard the story. They were parked somewhere, or driving, I can't really remember. When he woke up, jumped out, and ran impressive distance from what I remember, and passed out in the hotel room before they got there. Again, been a minute, forgive me if I'm misremembering. I have had mismemories here lately that is making me question whether when I suffered a concussion a few months ago, whether I finally broke what the little bit of glue that held my brain together. Anyways, meet Dexter Griff. He was stationed at a doomed colony which fell during the Great War, which we don't know shit about, believe it or not. Like, we know the Covenant might have been a part of it, and might have been the enemies, but outside of that and spare info, we get, like, next to nothing. But he passed out his post, which, is how he survived. They just thought he was dead. Now that is some dedication to sleeping. But yeah, after that, he was sent here. He is extremely lazy and will do literally anything to avoid doing any work, which usually means he will expend more effort just to do what he was told. Like, he would do more effort just to not do it. Again, respect. I do the same thing. I don't want to do it. I want you to do it. So I'm going to go through like 80 fucking steps just so I don't have to do it. Because as long as it mildly inconveniences you, then it is worth it, if you ask me. That's essentially Griff's special trait, you could say. But overall, kind of gets overlooked. Is either he becomes extreme slacker, like slacker extreme, where he doesn't do shit, or he's just there. Either Griff falls into one of these two. But in the Blood Gulch Chronicles, either he falls into won't do shit, exists, or the box I prefer Griff to be in. Reluctantly doing something. The only series outside of the Blood Gulch I think of where he reluctantly actually does something that progresses the plot in any way, shape, and form outside of a joke, or him being the service to get something else to move that has nothing to do with him, but it's just because he was there, is the trilogy no one talks about. I'll talk about it later. You'll hear about it, and when I talk about it, I will not be kind. Oh, if you like me moaning and groaning and the little bit I did in the Halo video, oh, you are going to feast later. Anyways, meet Private Franklin Delano Donut. Best fucking name ever. He grew up in a farm in Iowa, where he spent a lot of time thinking, and then repressing those thoughts. His words, not mine. After some time, he enlisted, and he got sent to Red Team after doing cheese and wine hour during a field exercise. That's not a fucking joke. That is in the official fan guide thing that Rooster Teeth officially produced and wrote by Bernie Burns himself, I think. Either that or he didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if he said he did and then just somebody else kind of did it. I feel like Bernie Burns might release a book one day that is just copy and pasted from the fucking wiki. I could see him doing that. The Red vs. Blue wiki. It's just a fucking fan wiki, copy and pasted. I could see Bernie doing that. Bernie, if by some cosmic coincidence, one day you just got bored and was like, ooh, why not? And you stumbled upon this. If you do this, send me a copy for free, please. I've been in this community when it died. I'm not old. I am still relatively new because I watched everything die right as I finished watching the show. After I seen season 0, after all of it, I watched as it crashed and died. So yeah. Anyways, back on track. So, Donut, yeah, he has a colorful personality. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the shit. I'm gonna be dead ass. He likes men. Which leads to just the joke. That is his thing. He says one thing that can be interpreted in another way. Funny, haha, you're supposed to clap and laugh. Which... there are a lot of characters like this in media that I hate. And a lot of them done horribly. Like, oh, look, they say this, they mean this, but everybody thinks it means this sexual thing. Donut's actually fucking clever! The rest of them either aren't clever, or it's in such a perfect time in the film where it's actually funny. Not Donut. He's funny all the way through, exceedingly clever because everything can be misconstrued. His entire personality is, I say this, I actually mean this, but everybody interprets it this way because that's the way most people do, while he doesn't, which is funny. Donut, probably one of the best characters in the show. Because he is indestructible, he can't die. What I mean is, he can't die. Oh, I cannot wait to talk about the next... I can't wait to talk about the trilogy right after this, because, brother... just every season, I think he, like, almost dies. I'll talk about it every time he practically dies. I'll talk about it. Each one, if I remember. Fun story, actually, about him. Okay, where are we? Fun story about this guy. The voice actor for Donut. And this is actually one of my favorite. One day, he just showed up for training. And after someone noticed he didn't have, like, a paste hub, they thought it was just a glitch. So they put him in the system. He just walked in and got hired. He didn't even apply. He just showed up and got hired. They found out after he told them. Which is the most Donut thing to do. He just kind of walked in and was like, hey. You know, he just walked in for training, got trained, and was just a part of the company. Didn't apply. Nothing. Just showed up. I gotta say. For you, like, he even told them afterwards. I'm just like, you know, that is a level of respect you have to keep, man. That is on a different level, dude. Lopez the Heavy. He is a robot who got stuck in the Spanish setting. He was made by Sarge, and he is just a mechanic. Anything Sarge can't, Lopez can. Lopez and character. If you've been around, you know that does not go together. Lopez is not a character. After rewatching seasons 1 through 5, he is not a character, he is a plot device. He is a MacGuffin. Like, he is not a person, he is a fucking plot point. That's not even a joke, he becomes a plot point. Season 1 definitely had a character, nothing important. Then he became a fucking plot point. Like, the fuck? I'm like, then why do I like this guy? And then I watched season 6 and went, oh, that's when he got character. After this. And then I remember jokes from the trilogy that shall not be named. That was, well, one joke from that was actually funny. Lopez got boned during the entire Blood Gulch Chronicles. Just know that. Now the Blues! The more interesting of the two teams. Where everything that happens, plot-wise, around 9 out of 10 times are some way, in some form, about one of the characters. Most prominently, Private Leonard Church. After an event on Sidewinder where his squad got killed, he was separated. He was spared because of someone he knew. I'll talk about her later. We don't know when he got enlisted. Not when he got sent to Blood Gulch, but he is one of the most important members of the blue team. And he is angry, easily irritated, and when he gets pissed, he is the worst to talk to. But he is okay. He has a okay head on his shoulders. But outside of one of the members, this is not a lot to brag about. Private First Class Lavernius Tucker. What can I say about this guy and not get demonetized? He is a horn dog. He wants women above all else. He wants to get laid. That is his sole goal in life. But outside of that, he is just a slacker. A good bit, but, you know, he is surprisingly a good leader. Better than Church, and is surprisingly clever. Now on to my favorite character, Private Michael J. Caboose. This is the best character, but he is not the brightest light. He's not the brightest. But saying he is dumb is like calling him stupid is maybe giving too much credit. But I like him. He is my favorite character, and I will die on this hill. He was stationed on a low-grav moon until he accidentally put people in danger and was sent here. But somehow he is able to do feats that no one else can do. He is the strongest character ever. I don't remember where this is from. Might be in the show, might be from a review, but I remember somebody saying he could probably beat up Goku. This is either in the show, in the death battle thing that is a part of season 14, but Rooster Teeth own Death Battle, but Death Battle didn't have an episode on the Reds and Blues. The Death Battle channel only had... You see where I'm getting here? Bernie ran a company, and boy is it fucking beautiful. Anyways, according to Tucker, they believe it's God's way of making up for his low brain power. Their words, not mine. But he is, for some reason, he is able to understand literally anything time-related, has a strange understanding of mechanics. But we'll talk about these theories later. Then there's Agent Tex. We don't know a lot about her, and what we do learn is massive story points. So I will digress. Any other will be talked in the respective seasons. Now on to the bulk of our video, where I talk about a show that's ran for 20 years. Because it was alive during 2023, and I believe the first season was made in 2003, if I remember correctly. Because I doubt it could have came out later. Anyways. Where were we? Where were we? Oh god, I forgot to do the thing. So, season 1 of this beautiful show. So it starts with it starts with the clip I played at the beginning. I say so much. You'd think I actually do quote this a lot, so much you'd think I might have been the person that wrote it. But anyways, then we switch to the Blues. Church and Tucker are spying on the Reds. They get a shipment, the Warthog, which leads to something else I name things frequently. Chip-a-thingy. I name things this a lot. Like, I had this little shitty motorbike that I named Chupa Thingy because I thought it was funny. So yeah. Anyways. We switch to the blue perspective, you know, and they got a tank. My precious caboose gets there and calls Church's ex-girlfriend a cow, which then leads to the whole argument, and now he has to watch the flag as punishment. They didn't tell him it was a punishment. Red base, they get a recruit known as Donut. He's then sent to get headlight fluid. And they send him on this quest to see how long it would be before he realized there's no headlight fluid. Yeah, he gets to the other base, takes the flag because of a misunderstanding. The Blues try to get it back, and Tucker goes through the portal. And you know, it takes a minute, and his armor will always turn black when teleporting. I have a theory about this I'll get to in like 8-9 seasons time. But yeah. But yeah, Donut ends up back. Simmons and Griff use the Warthog to give Donut a chance to get back to the base. Caboose, watching his friends get pinned down, gets in the tank, which has an AI called Sheila. She assists Caboose to learn how to drive this tank to whatever extent it is. He turns on lock-on mode and blows up the Warthog. But Simmons and Griff weren't in it at the time, so they run to red base, but the tank doesn't have friendly fire enabled, so Church gets shot. Sarge, hearing that his men were being held down by a tank, he was not in the cannon, he was somewhere else, and was able to get an airstrike. Tank explodes, Caboose jumps out, and he will miss Sheila. This is important. Tucker and Caboose call Blue Command, and his name is Vic. He gets his personality in Season 2, so I'll talk about him then. They send a freelancer known as Tex. Church comes back as a ghost and tries to warn them. But when she gets here, he immediately gets the flag back. She makes the biggest mistake she will ever make. She dare fuck Caboose. I mean, not Caboose, but Donut.
What's going on? What the fuck? What? What is that thing? What thing? There's something on your head. What? Is it a spider? Get it off! No, it's not a spider. It's like a blue thing. What? Like a blue spider? Get it off! It's not a spider. Now, calm down. It's some kind of fuzzy pulsating thing. That doesn't sound much better than a spider. Does it hurt? No. Maybe we should try to take it off. Good idea. Go for it. Me? By we, I meant you, asshole. Well, somebody needs to get it off. Look, it might be dangerous. Son of a bitch!
Okay, take two. So, Donut gets kersploded. Trust me. She signed her death warrant with that one. What the fuck? I already got that message. Stop sending me shit, Discord. I read these. What the fuck? I read these messages a minute ago. What the fuck? Anyways. Trust me, she signed her death warrant with that one. Anyways. After that, Sarge captures her, and her voice filter gets broke. And everyone now knows she's a her. But Church comes up with a plan to get her back. Both Caboose and Tucker go through the portal, which turns their armors black, which... After this, only Tucker does that. But while the rest are distracted, Church possesses Sarge and frees her. And she seems to almost immediately accept that whole ghost thing. Like, she might know more than we do. That's for now, at least. Anyways, they escape quickly, and we switch to the Reds with Donut is back. So, this takes place a few weeks after Donut's back from command with his signature pink armor. He calls it lightish red, but we all know the truth. And he wants his revenge. Tex is fixing the tank, while Church tells us how she was in a special program and given an AI known as Omega, and her armor has the ability to go invisible. And he starts coming up with a plan to get the AI out of her head, so he goes to warn the Reds of her plan. Caboose accidentally tells Tex about it, but she acts like she doesn't care, but the AI does. So he goes to warn the rest of the Reds of her plan to kill him, and accidentally possesses Lopez, and couldn't warn them, Spanish. But that didn't really matter, because Donut has a really good arm. I mean, a god arm. Because it's fucking Donut. The only way I can explain this scene is, with itself. That's how you explain the scene, really.
Hey, bitch! Remember me? I saved something for you!
Man, that girl's got a really good arm.
Oh, crap!
Hell yeah! 3 points, you dirty whore! Dios mío, no!
This is going to be a while. Okay, so. Disclaimer I'll get more into literally later. Not going to show a ton of clips. Just know it's because I don't know about the copyright of Rooster Teeth shit right now. I know Ruby, you show that you're getting copyrighted by Viz immediately. Everything else, on the other hand, is up in the air, so yeah. Prepare for a lot of me yapping. So the AI jumps a caboose and goes by O'Malley now. And she is free of the AI, and boom, into season 1. I love this show. The writing is fun, and you can tell they loved making it. Now on to season 2. So season 2 starts by showing us one new character and giving another their iconic attitude. Our first character is Doc, or his full name, Medical Officer Frank Dufresne. Doc is most normally he is left, but Doc is most normally he was lent here to help both sides, Reds and Blues. He is a medic, pretty cheerful, and is a pacifist, also vegan. Overall, he is just pretty chill, all things considered. And Vic is a quintessential dude employee. He is overall one of my favorite characters, given how chill he reacts to literally every single situation and dumb shit our guys go on, as long as they don't know too much. Anyways, Doc contacts command to know where he is going, what he is doing. After a mild annoyance, he gets to Blue Base, and after they make fun of him for being really, really late, the Blues get attacked by the Reds, and after a pretty interesting scene and foreshadowing later, they give the medic to the Reds because, well, they want Lopez, which is why they attacked. But Church is using his body, so they give Doc to the Red team, in hopes they wouldn't have to deal with Doc. So Caboose is showing some clear signs of being infected by O'Malley, like threatening on multiple occasions to kill or really hurt Tucker, because in Caboose's head, he goes by O'Malley rather than Omega. I don't know why, he just does. Anyways, while Doc is at Red Base, he isn't really all that needed, and decides to not associate with Griff, which will bite him in the ass later, so keep it in your brain banks. Or whatever the fuck you call your memory. I call it brain banks because I think it's funny and it rhymes and it rolls off the tongue. Blues are trying to reactivate some sort of like repair mode on Lopez so they can fix the tank. And they find a weird switch on the pelvis of the robot. And after a really good fucking joke being said, one I actually quote consistently is so Tucker flips the switch on his pelvis and Church goes, "So you around here?" I make that joke daily, whether it makes sense or not. I make that joke far too much. And I don't know what it is. There's just something about that. "So, you from around here?" It's such a funny quote. I don't know what it is about it. Something brings me joy. I will forever assume the thing that brings me joy is just the absurdity of how many times I can say that quote with it meaning 8 different meanings, all within the same sentence, with it making sense. I may or may not have took it to the logical extreme one day, and one of my friends genuinely looked like their brain was about to, like, aneurysm. Because I was like, dude, you know the term, "Are you from around here?" can be used in, like, 80 different ways? And I don't remember, but I had, like, a thing, you know, Notes? Like, Google Notes or something like that. I don't know what it is on other devices, because I have a Windows, which is just called Sticky Notes, and iPhone, which is just Notes. I don't like iPhones, so don't think I'm an iPhone user. I don't like them. It's just, this is what I was handed down, so... yeah. And I had an entire notepad, and I read through, because I constructed this, I kid you not, paragraph, where I used, I think, "Are you from around here?" around, like, 20 different times. Just, like, 4 paragraphs or something. I managed to plug it in there just enough times where it was a coherent sentence, while completely making sense. I'm telling you, this show has the best writing you'll ever fucking read. Maybe because it was made by smart people. Okay, sorry for the cut. Once again, friend. Me talk friend. That explained, okay? Anyways, where was I? Repair mode, switch, funny. So, they switch it on, activating the remote control feature on the Warthog, which, after the beeping drives Church crazy, Caboose and Tucker try to remove the switch, while the Reds almost get killed by Church, accidentally saying the code words for the Warthog, kidnapping Doc, and almost killing Sarge with the machine gun mounted on the back. But they pull the wire, saving Sarge, which means the Blues have saved Sarge at least once. By the way, when Tex was, you know, being, like, protected, Sarge got shot in the head, and they gave him CPR, and it healed the wound. Imagine getting shot in the head, somebody gives you, you know, CPR, and boom, wound's filled, you remember everything, no more hole in skull. That never gets explained anywhere outside of the Blood Gulch Chronicles. Hell, there's an entire plot point in a later season that's... the plot point's good, the season isn't, the season after it also isn't, but the plot point's good. But because of this earlier season, it makes it feel so... The That's all I can explain it as. Ugh. Can't wait to talk about that when we get there, if I remember. So yeah, drives crazy, almost killed Sarge, saving Sarge. At least once. Anyway, so Simmons and Griff try to return Doc, but the Blues don't want them back, so they're just going to abandon him. He tries to ask Griff for help, and he says the same thing he said to him earlier. Man, do I love poetic irony. I think it's poetic irony. Anyways, irony's lost all meaning. So he lives in a cave now. Church, no longer able to walk, decides to leave Lopez's body in hopes he would fix it. And when their heads was turned, Lopez ran for the hills. But because he is painted blue, Sarge tried to run him over, so Lopez decides to work with the Blues now. They fix Sheila, and she shows a little bit of interest in Lopez, which enrages Caboose, which had a major O'Malley break. Tex possesses Lopez. She is a ghost now, because they all can apparently, and tells them O'Malley is in Caboose's head, and to make sure everybody's radio's off so he can't jump. So they can finally kill O'Malley once and for all. So Tex and Church go into Caboose's head, while Lopez, Sheila, and Tucker get the Reds to turn off their radios. In Caboose's headspace, they see all the fucked up, dumbed down versions of themselves. Or, as my friend said, the Caboose versions. God, that's a fucking funny joke. Thanks, Sanity. So anyways, they kill O'Malley and think he is dead forever. Well, he jumped to Doc, who was on a call with Vic and mentioned how he can't have... And Vic mentioned he can't have kids. Important for later. And while Tucker was trying to get the Reds to turn off their radio, he ran over Griff with an 800-pound tank. Maybe more. Maybe an 8-ton tank. He has to get most of his body replaced with no other than Simmons parts, which he is now cyborg, so that Griff could live, which surprised me given Sarge's hatred for Griff. But anyways, Lopez is able to keep Church and Tex from possessing him. So they learn that Lopez and Sheila are going to make their own army. Donut and Griff do some recon, and Church manages to get Donut. And they use him as a bargaining chip to get Sarge to make him 2 new robot bodies for Church and Tex respectively. And they are going to do the trade. At the same time, the robot army is going to do their thing. And when things go down, Sarge prepares for a fight when they send over the bodies. With Sheila and Lopez sees that an insult, get angry. They are all getting ready to fight when Doc, now mostly controlled by O'Malley, attacks. Which Tucker intercepted a call between Sarge and Vic, showing that the Blue in the same command, which causes problems. But O'Malley/Doc blows stuff up, steals Lopez, so the Red and Blues have to team up and run into the teleporter to follow. Where they went, but Doc already sabotaged them, so they get sent to random places, thus ending Season 2. I love this one. It did what I loved about the first one, while doing something new and having, honestly, some of the best jokes in the series. Now on to Season 3. So, Season 3. So, we're at the middle point in this video. Now that most of you checked to see how much is left, tell me, because hell if I know, I will say hell if I know right now. But something I will say is RVB copyright is in a state between, existing and not. So for the moment, I'll keep clips to a minimum. I forgot to put this earlier and thought it would be funny to explain it halfway through. it'd be funnier to explain at the halfway point. Anyways, see, they got split up. Simmons is in a portal nexus, or a janitor's closet. Caboose and Sarge are in Battle Creek, in an early 2000s Halo C lobby. That isn't a joke, they literally respawn. And Sergeant Caboose's dynamic is beautiful. He tries his best to do stuff while keeping in mind Caboose's lack of brain. Anyways, underrated dynamic and best line in the whole show is said when Caboose goes into what I call O'Malley mode.
Caboose, I give up.
Wait, I can make them listen. I can beat them.
Son, what are you talking about?
O'Malley taught me how to be mean. I just have to concentrate on bad things. Like milk. No, wait, Red Bull.
Son, I think you've really lost it. O'Malley's not in your head anymore. He infected the doc.
No, I can feel him. I just need to get angry and say mean things. Like, your brain is a mountain of hatred.
I never thought I'd reach the moment in my life when I actually missed Griff. But here it is.
Now, I am thinking about kittens. Kittens covered in spikes. That makes me angry.
My name is Michael J. Caboose, and I hate babies.
It's a beast!
Okay, so Griff and Church are in prison. Their dynamic is mid, honestly, but yeah, they are in jail for some reason. I'm not sure. It's never explained. Well, I mean, it might be because they just, materialize before some people's eyes. Anyways, now the people left behind in Blood Gulch is Tucker, because, rocket exploded on someone. Alongside Tex and Sheila. And Donut. So, Simmons manages to get Sarge and Caboose out of Battle Creek by messing with the teleporter. We switch back to Blood Gulch to where we learn through Tex that there's a bounty on Tucker's head because he learned the reds and blues are the same, and no other than ancient Wyoming is on the case. Tex brings up a side series I'll cover in the next video because it fits more thematically when I cover it then, given the tone of the next 3 seasons. But anyways, we learned that every freelancer was given a special suit of armor with an ability and an AI. Anyways, Wyoming came across Church and Griff and tells them what he's going to do, then leaves them to starve to death. To which the doors open mysteriously. I'll explain this later. Keep this in the back of your mind. We switch to Dog/O'Malley as they call. Vic tells him as they call Vic to tell him the bounty on Tucker is set up, to which Vic thanks him because having your boss call it on you might lean too much credence to his point. O'Malley and Lopez get ready for their super evil secret plan. I want to add a note. This season has always been split into 2 in my mind. I'll explain later. Anyways, Vic calls Sarge, tells him the Blues are up to something, so Sarge believes it, and fills in Simmons. At some point, Church accidentally activated the bomb in his gut. Tucker and Donut go to the portal, and now they are all on Sidewinder. Tucker's armor turned black again, which saved his life because Wyoming thought it was Tex. His armor gets cleaned, Tex attacks Wyoming, but surprise, Wyoming is working for O'Malley and Tex gets knocked out. O'Malley activates the weather device in Lopez, so Simmons gets all the weirdos from Battle Creek to fight O'Malley while they defuse the bomb in Church's gut. The weather machine malfunctions, shocks Church so it can't be disarmed. Big explosion happens, and now they're in the Halo 2 engine, which I will say this is why my brain thinks they're in 2 different seasons. I think half of season 3 is 4, and a part of 3 is 3, but the rest is 4. If that made any sense, congrats! You are on my level of thinking. Anyways, so the Reds and Blues think they got transported to the future. We will know the truth soon. Not in this video, anyways. So, Church is in motherfucking marathon graphics. We meet Gary, which then we learn through Gary, through time machine stuff, that Church caused every single bad thing that happened to ever happen in the canyon. Which brings me some joy. And this entire part is the second half of what I thought Season 3 was. The rest of 4 was in my mind, Yellow Church, despite what the only Red versus Blue lore tuber says. It's just a version of Church who stayed in Caboose's head. Anyways. So, Church goes back in time, and there's a person called Butch Flowers. He says a line that has been burnt in my brain since. He says, and I quote, "If it wasn't for the chain of command, I'd take off the suit and make you call me daddy." And man, I never thought I'd hear something in this show that made me go, oh, I feel very uncomfortable. But boy, I cringed. I audibly went, oh, because that line was delivered with intent. Whoever voiced him better have got a fucking raise because of that, because I mean, damn. Anyways, turns out Butch Flowers is allergic to aspirin. Plus, he has an aspirin overdose because Church tried to keep him from having a heart attack, but it was actually an aspirin overdose. Church turned off friendly fire on the tank so it would shoot him. He led Donut to the blue base. He messed up the switch, which was what caused the leg motors to stop functioning. He told Vic that the Reds and Blues are the same, but he already knew that, to be fair. And Vic seems to listen to Butch like he is above all else, like he's like some kind of grand master. Trust me, none of this shit will come up for another, like, okay, so this is Season 3, Season 13. In about 5-ish seasons, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 seasons. We don't get to know this till, like, 5-ish, 6-ish seasons from now. Yeah, there's a lot of information we don't get to know jack diddly about until way later, which I do kind of love the series for all the callbacks, but I don't know, it makes the earlier seasons extremely dated. With that being said, I will say, there are a lot of really clever setups for like seasons like 10, 8, all that were crafted so expertly beforehand. That is kind of impressive, the foresight. Jesus Christ, what is going on? Okay, I know what was happening. So they're letting in, dogs. And boy, oh boy. One of our dogs don't really like going up for the night, but, last time, we let that dog out, she ate all of my axolotl's food. All of it. She had food too. She wasn't starving. She was fed the night before, and she was fed that day. And my mom noted that it was weird she didn't eat any of her food. I wonder why she didn't eat any of her food today. She was fed the day before too. She was fed. She wasn't hungry. So I get home, and lo and behold, the tote I keep my axolotl's food in was pulled out from under my bed. The container I have it was ripped open, and yeah, so now she's locked up in a cage of the nighttime because we can't trust her to be out on her own. Now, I'm not going to close my door because I like, animals. We have cats. They like to come in and out. I'd rather enjoy them being able to do that. Oh, God. Hold on. I got sent something. Okay, hopefully no more distractions. So, anyways, Church manages to get, quote-unquote, transported to the future. So, while all that was happening, the Reds and Blues fixed up one of the Jeeps in the future. I guess they think they got blown into the future. They fixed up one of the Jeeps, got a distress signal from Tex, followed it to O'Malley's new evil base, which had Lopez as just ahead, one of the Battle Creek troopers helping him. Tex explained that they need them because the bomb is just too heavy, which Caboose picks up with ease. God, I love this show, man. He is the only one that can pick it up, literally only him. Until it's not needed for the plot. So Tex can pick it up next season, so they get in. So they get in, and after a long attack, the Reds and Blues win, and the bomb is in the facility. Tucker found the hole, found an energy stored. When he walked into the facility, it went into lockdown. And a recording here in the facility left by Church from the past tell them not to do exactly what they were doing whilst listening to it. The bomb is going to go off, but Church appears, saves them. Turns out the bomb is alive and named Andy. An army of robots move slow. They beat them. Then Church gets ambushed by an alien. Oh, and the Reds left for Red Base. Griff loses his shit when he sees the old cannon. Boom. End of Season 3. This season was really good. Just felt like two different seasons. Outside of that, I really loved the progression. While pacing was all over the place, I still loved it. Now on to Season 4. Okay, before we talk about Season 4 real quick, if you're hearing a cat, like, meowing in the background, that's, Apollo Lomio. His name's Apollo, we just call him Apollo Lomio. I don't know why, we just started doing that. So, he is somewhat more of like an outside cat, but there are a lot of like coons and shit outside. We started bringing him during the winter because it was getting too cold. But because he was inside, so he wouldn't die from the cold because it had gotten the negatives, coons decided to show up in his place, so now we can't have him out during the nighttime or the coons will hurt him. So if you're a cat like yelling its head off in the background, just know the cat's inside. He doesn't want to be inside, he wants to be outside, but if he's outside, the coons will fucking eat him. Figure to specify so you guys don't get confused. Because no, the cat's fine. He's not hurt. He just likes yelling a lot. Like a lot. Okay, so I paused the video for a second because, so I did the ultimate no-no. I scratched a mosquito bite, and, well, my leg felt weird, so I was like, huh, I wonder, a piece of blue jean was just fused to my leg, or, like, the liquid, you know, that makes scabs fused with the fucking jean. All because I scratched a mosquito bite, because it itched really bad and was on my leg. Oh, what is that dog doing now? God, can I record? Okay, everything's back to being silent. So, Season 4. So this one begins with a bang. Church in ghost form tries to tell them what happened before Tucker says his iconic line.
Ow, chicka bow! Whoa! Story's over.
You're a pig.
Now that it's 12 a.m., I can do this. Now, if this is not the first time he said it, my bad. I really thought this was, but again, I zoned out sometimes. But anyways, they go into it to try to get back, try to get his body. Tex gets her ass kicked, so Caboose goes in there and becomes friends with the alien. They try to teach him English before Tucker activates the sword and gets his ass beat by the alien. We switch to the blues. And after getting Griff down, Simmons sees the tank. Stars think he's crazy, so demotes him. So Simmons leaves, meet up with Sheila, paints himself blue, and tries to kill him. All eventually capturing Griff. Star tries to do the rescue mission, so Donut will talk to someone other than him. We switch back to the blues, and it turns out, after they get Andy to translate Alien, it turns out, once someone grabs the sword, it is bound to them. So to everybody else, it's useless, but to him, it works. So he needs Tucker to help him on his quest. So Church tells Tucker he is taking Caboose, and Church heads to Blood Gulch while Tex follows them, not letting them know so she can steal whatever treasure they are supposed to get. But they ambush her, and now she's officially part of the team. Tucker mentions he doesn't like the fact the alien stands over him while he sleeps, and make it to a temple full of the Battle Creek troopers. Tex goes in, but they get alerted, and a firefight ensues. Tucker learns his badass sword is a glorified key that unlocks doors. The alien takes the ship and flies away before Wyoming shoots it out of the air. Tex follows Wyoming to God knows where the Blues make it back to the canyon, where we learn Sarge got knocked out and brought back to their base. Vic Jr. exists, but wait, didn't he have a vasectomy? Meaning this isn't adding up. Didn't time travel, but Vic doesn't want to correct them. Hell if I know. Yep. Something's going on here, anyways. So Simmons goes back to being red and is put back in his position. The Blues get back and Tucker is really sick, so they call Doc and he says he's preggers. I shit you not. A massive plot point is Tucker gets pregnant. What in the fuck is this show? This was made in like early 2000s, before 2008. Like, what the fuck? Were they just more creative back then? Or, I don't fucking know how they came up with some of this shit. Like, Funny ideal, I know, but I don't get it. Anyways, so the Reds, they need Lopez because secret info, so they steal him and Andy. Once done being translated, they leave him when Caboose and Church finds them. He spills the whole alien parasite embryo thing that will impregnate people. God, I thought this show was normal. I made maybe 20 videos on this channel. This one, hands down, is starting to become the weirdest. So anyways, Tucker gives birth. Donut wants to see. Sarge calls for support a while ago. Pelican crushes him, and into season 4. Now, I skipped over a ton of stuff because this one isn't really that cool. Like, it is really cool. It just has a lot of fluff. And on to the final season, season 5. I did brush over a lot of the really cool things in this season. Like, for no malicious reason. Like, while I really do enjoy this, while I do enjoy season 4, it's just there isn't really a lot to talk about outside of plot points. While it is as long as season 3, not a lot of plot really happens. A lot of it is, like, filler. Good filler a little bit, but still filler nonetheless. Like, I do really love this show. You should watch it. By should, I mean you will. You're going to go on YouTube, watch season 1, and then you're going to watch the re-uploads of season 2, 3, 4, and 5, like I did, because, well, not everybody has access to the Google Drive. I do. And the only way to get access to it is to find the Discord server it originated from. So yeah, if you want to access everything RVB related without watching re-uploads, either buy the disc or find the Google Drive. But trust me, you're going to have to search far and wide for it. Hell, the only reason I found it was because I was on a server. I was like, hey, I want to watch the fucking movie, but I don't want to give Prime money. And somebody was like, oh yeah, I have a Google Drive full of every single season. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was like, yeah, I can send it to you. And I was like, bet. I obtained it, and he said, just don't spread it to, like, fucking everyone. I was like, okay. Yeah, sorry guys, I can't give it to you. He said not to do that. He said you're allowed to talk to it all you want because he thinks it's fucking funny if people talk about it, but don't give. That's not a joke, that's how I got it. He was just like, here, don't fucking spread it without my permission. But I don't really care if you tell your friends. I don't care, I think it's funny to tell people. I mean, I don't know if he remembers it, but I even mentioned, what if I just tell people and it's like, no, I guess it's okay. Oh, I think it's funny. Anyways, Season 5! So this begins with the ship being slammed on Donut. Sarge goes to get something to help him, and Church and Sheila come over to take it. Sheila is on the fritz, so she leaves. And Church has to leave. Sarge gets back, and eventually the back of it opens. Kakina Griff comes out, or, by her nickname, Sister. She is the blonde stereotype. There is no other way to describe her in my mind. She has Donut's innuendos, Griff's laziness, and Tucker's horniness. All distilled with enough caboose idiocy to create this melting pot of a character that never fucking shows up again. 6, 7, and 8. No fucking mention! 6 has her for maybe 20 minutes max. After that, she has never seen a fucking again or ever fucking showed. Maybe in season 14. Don't remember. Then you got the fucking Shiznu trilogy. Make her a main fucking character after her not fucking appearing for over half the show's lifespan. Her character is a fucking enigma to me. Her existence in the show brings me nothing but both anger and confusion for all the wrong reasons. I am mad she never fucking shows up. But I'm also mad she shows up when she does. She's not in over half the show, so I'm mad she's here. That could have replaced a new character that would have been cool. Like Tucker finding some random lady that he has a love interest in and ends up falling into something deeper than his usual one-night stand mentality, leading to him changing his personality for the better, rather than what we did get. I'm all talking about future shit because Kikaina Griff, or sister, her entire existence brings me nothing but pure anger. Just because she just existed incorrectly. Because she existed for one season, okay? One fucking season. Season 5. She's a joke in season 6. While a good written one, I'll admit, but still a joke nonetheless. Okay, I can let that go. She becomes a highly important character after this in the Shiznu trilogy, I believe, or I believe it's in the Shiznu trilogy. She becomes a massively important character. She was in one fucking season, for God's sake. Technically, too, if you count the fact the plane hit Donut. Outside of that, she was never mentioned after that. And given the fact the Shiznu trilogy takes place so far after everything, it just makes no fucking sense. I know I'll talk about it later, but I really wanted the character to do something, be special. Because, you know, she's not Tex. She has potential to do something interesting. Outside of being the strong female character that keeps everything on track, while being a more carefree one. I thought that was a good foil to Tex. Like, when you think about it, Sister is a really good foil to Tex. She is a lot more carefree and doesn't really care, kind of dumb, while Tex, you know, very strict and kind of really smart. She is an excellent foil to Tex, which we don't get to see a lot of, which is another reason Sister makes me mad. We don't get to see the perfect foil. And it's just, Sister is missed potential. I want, and you know, in the fucking movie, she is like in there for like 5 seconds and fucking dies. At least I think she died. I'm not sure if she died. I think she died. And it's just, what the fuck, man? Like what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Like, I wanted a good character, okay? To appear more. Like, why don't we get that? And she gets replaced by someone worse later. While the arc of the other character we'll talk about later is really good and I really enjoy it, and her character after her initial arc and how she deals with trauma is beautifully realistic while being good, but still she just kind of... Sister, if she would have came back, every other season could have had an interesting foil. Especially with a character we'll talk about. Not even in the next videos. After that. But one we can talk about. Because York has interesting things to say. But overall, it's just... Sister's missed potential, and it really does make me angry. My minutes-long tirade aside, that's the only way I describe her. Anyways, she is here to replace someone after the commander died. Oh, and she enlisted in the army because she was alone. So yeah, Sarge, hearing he's dead, would rather get buried than admit Griff was right. About literally everything. And the second Simmons was in charge, he tried to whip them into shape. We switch points to Church. Church is not allowed in his base. He gets more pissed. Church meets Tucker Jr. He wants him to die. Call Vic. And well, all I can say is, I will kill you, computer phone lady. If you know, you know. If you don't, after this, watch the show to understand. And trust me, really fun. Anyways, so we switch to the red side. Donut fell into the cave, so has Sarge, where he was buried. Turns out Sister is colorblind. Griff sends her back to the blue side. Dex arrives to find Omega, whatever the fuck his name is. They think it's Sheila because, she is acting weird and on the fritz. So Caboose talks to her and Tex turns her off. Oh, contrast to the earlier season. Before she could give the information on who Mally is, so they put her in the ship so she could tell him. Vic tells the Blues to invade Red Base, so the Reds went into the cave to find Sarge, got drugged by aliens, someone unknown to us, got translated till someone learned enough alien so they didn't kind of need... What is his name? Andy. Okay, so... they find a computer that's kind of like a command room. You could say this is command, wink, a wink, a nudge, nudge. What the fuck am I doing? As they and the Blues are at their base, they decide to leave. Simmons backtracks, hearing Sarge talking to Vic. As he leaves, when Simmons enters the area, Vic says, and I quote, "Somebody's been monkeying around my equipment. Oh, I gotta go, bye." And then Simmons is there. So, yeah, either Vic is just down there running around, or he is a part of a computer in some way, maybe a fucking AI. This is the only way I can kind of explain this outside of, Blood Gulch bullshit. But, all this info and this shit, about this mystery is retcon series, or how much of it is retcon. Yeah. See, we don't know how much of Blood Gulch is retconned, because everything else existed. So, we don't really know how much of this is, canon, or what things really happened. I don't know how to explain it, especially given Season 14's explanation of some things. God, Season 14's a beast of its own. I don't even know if I should talk about it outside of the relevant information that it brings. Because God almighty. Within 3 episodes, it solves every single mystery and then becomes an anthology series before fleshing out 2 characters using the Ruby art style, which, I'll let you know, I watched Red vs. Blue before I watched Ruby. So I was like, okay, I clicked play on episode 1. Banger intro, if I remember correctly. And then I see the animation, I'm like, that's in season 14. I know that animation style from anywhere. It's ingrained in my brain, boys. I don't know what it is about everything red versus blue. It is just... I feel like there's like a part of my brain sectioned out to just Rooster Teeth. And then, in that, there's a sub-portion for Ruby, and the majority is just red versus blue. Speaking of Ruby, I might cover it in the future. I'm not entirely sure, because I do want to cover a lot of more, like, shows. Like, I do want to cover a ton of shows that I love. Nothing too out there. Like, I'm not going to cover, let's say, fucking Avatar. Not going to cover that. Why? Because not my style. That is for TV YouTubers. I like talking about dumb shit I like. Now you can be like, oh, Halo's not dumb. Sorry to break it to you. Half the fucking one-liners in the original trilogy are stupid, but I love it for that. I mean, hell, I love Devil May Cry 3 because Dante existing is fucking hilarious. I like stupid. Maybe that's why I like Caboose. I like stupid things. Because stupid things make me happy. I am currently really enjoying a game where you shoot a fucking wall. Need I say more? Like, that's the thing. I want to cover stupid things. While Red vs. Blue does become more serious as the seasons go on, Sarge exists. I'm sorry, but throughout the entire series, Sarge is never taken serious, ever. He is always fucking funny, other than season 6, 7, and or 8 does have him reach a breaking point. A really good breaking point thematically, but still a breaking point nonetheless. And I do really, really love it. But still, Sarge can never be taken seriously. Ever. Outside of that. And he really does keep the Blood Gulch energy alive forever. More so than the rest of the Reds. It is only Sarge that brings Blood Gulch everywhere he goes outside of Caboose. Like, he is Blood Gulch. Outpost number 1. But yeah. Talking about retcons. Fucking hey. Retcons. Boy, oh boy. Wait until we talk about the fucking Shiznu trilogy, boys. If you enjoyed even a fraction of my... If you liked even a fraction of my... Enjoyed even a moment of my nagging, you are gonna love the Shiznu trilogy video. Because if I remember, I am going to be so fucking mean. Because I am not kind of that fucking trilogy at all. Because there's one good fucking part. Season fucking 15, I think. Or is that the chorus trilogy? I can't remember which trilogy. No, yeah. 15, 16, 17 is the chorus trilogy. And then 18, 19. Oh my god, wait. Hold on. I think I finally lost my mind, actually, a little. I can't count. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to the script. I have so much complaints about later. So, hope you like hearing me moan and groan. We will get to that later. Anyways, they head back and take blue base while they take red base. they figure out Gary is actually Wyoming's AI Gamma. Captain Butch Flowers, from the time loop thing I forgot to mention in the script, but then had to wing that entire section. So Sheila in the ship says Omega's in Blue Team Leader, which is Butch Flowers. So Tex is going to shoot Church, thinking it's him. Wyoming shows up, spills the beans, and essentially the plan is to take Tucker Jr., give them a sword, put Omega in his brain or something like that, and stop the Great War. Yeah. Hope you'll have getting zero information on this fucker. Because we never do. We get tidbits. Later shit. But still then, we know Jack Diddley, but even then, we have nothing to do with the aliens. Maybe not. It's never fully fucking explained. But to be fair, Bernie had to remember a lot. And he is one person, so I do give it a break. Especially for the Blood Gulch trilogy. Or Blood Gulch Chronicles, Jesus fuck. Anyways, so because Tucker's sword, when Wyoming dies and does the time loop, he remembers all of it. Anyways. Gamma takes over Sheila's tank form and steals it, so Church has to clean up the mess of clones, Wyoming, and get rid of Gamma Tank. While the Reds set up the backup plan. Okay. So, time to get into this. Okay. Going off the script a little. So, essentially, Tucker has a sword. This sword is in the prophecy of the aliens. The only alien that know about that is now dead, meaning they could manipulate the aliens into stopping whatever the war is. But, see, Tucker has the sword, and when Wyoming does a time loop, because that's what his armor can do. And since Gamma is his AI, that means Church was put in a time loop losing that AI thing. So the AI forced Church into a time loop until the thing that Wyoming wanted to happen happened. Meaning Wyoming wanted Church again in the future. Why? I don't fucking know. Either that, or there's something we do not fully understand. But we never get explained later. Wyoming doesn't know what we know, even considering what we know from later seasons. Why did he do this? We don't know, and he wouldn't be able to know because Vic doesn't talk to him, and Vic never did. He always spoke to him through O'Malley. O'Malley didn't know what Church was. Otherwise, he would use him. There's a plot hole I fucking found! Anyways. So, Tucker eventually figures out how to kill Wyoming using the sword. And Church tells the Reds to set up a backup plan just in case if Tex is able to get off world because she wants to get O'Malley again to complete the plan. So, the Reds take Andy, put him in there, and tells them, if I tell you to blow up, blow up. So, yeah. So anyways. Tucker gets rid of the Gamma tank by hooking it to Sheila. Sheila locks in a firewall, which, given what we know later, makes no motherfucking sense. Oh, wait, no, Gamma... Oh, no, that actually does make sense, because Gamma isn't the logic. You'll know what I mean in the next trilogy to some extent. Woo. And then the Freelancer saga is when you understand all. Anyways. So, yeah. So, Wyoming convinced Tex to get O'Malley. At some point, O'Malley is in church and nothing happens. It's like... It's like they are one and the same. But Tex knocks him out, gets O'Malley, so she goes to the plane to take off, so Church asks Sarge what the backup plan is, and watches as his only love dies before his very eyes. Oh, and by the way, Tucker Jr. was not on the plane. Yeah. I figured to tell you so I don't have to explain later. I want you to know, 75% of the plot in this fucking season is just the entire season. I condense an entire season down to a more digestible format, and honestly, I don't know how to recap the show. With Indie Cross, I understood how to recap it, because there were pretty clear plot points, and it was a lot more concise and easy. When it comes to Red vs. Blue, fuck being concise and getting to the point and having clear plot points. They'll bring up shit from the Blood Gulch Chronicles 20 years later. If Red vs. Blue comes back when I'm done with this series, I will be convinced Bernie and Burns is watching me from the shadows, and you better give me my fucking credit, motherfuckers. Pay the piper. But yeah. So, that's all we have for the show, unfortunately. This video is a bit of a train wreck, I will acknowledge. But that's kind of like how I do videos, especially ones like this. I will say I am sorry this video is delayed. I'm finally going to tell you guys. So, working on a Hollow Knight video. I've never played this game until just now, outside of, like, beating the tutorial on, doing 1 or 2 dives in Hollow Nest. That's why that didn't really play the game much. I got distracted by other games, like Amori and other longer, more story-based games, and I kind of forgot that I had Hollow Knight until I saw Penguin Z0's video on it, or my Chronicles video on it, and I was like, oh yeah, this game exists. And I was like, well, this has a really good story. I'll play it. My fucking god. I've only killed one of the Dreamers, and I have, like, I think 50 hours in it. All 50 or 20 hours is on my SSD. It is 30 gigabytes currently. I have 15 gigs of space left. I don't know what to fucking do. Oh god, I'm gonna have to work on parts of the video. Like now. And the thought of stitching together a Frankenstein video has me both intrigued and kinda terrified of what that could lead to. What in the fuck? What? Ow. What the? I had something on the back of my neck. I was like, what the fuck is this? Nothing. Nada. There was like something on my chest, on my neck. Pulled it off. It's just like a fucking grain of hair. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Then what was making my back of my neck itch? Anyways. So, that is the show. I have a lot of love for it. So, sit down, story time, a big reason why I like this. And was the checkbox of not being completely soulless yet. So this begins, begins complete. So yeah, about, oh god, like 3-ish years ago, somewhere around 2022, man, I feel like the days are draining. So me and my buddy, Sanity Error, would get the show off YouTube before it got nuked off YouTube. What the fuck, dude? not after we got... So yeah, not long after we got the last season, all of it went on their memberships, and we made a competition out of who could finish the show first. And because of that, we had so much fun with it, and then when the trailer dropped for Restoration, or Restore, I don't know, dropped, me and my friend cooked, I mean, we guessed half of it. But, well, that's a story for another time. With that being said, just know this last section was most likely extremely winged due to my distraction with the 5th season. Anyway, sorry for this being late. I got extremely distracted and lost my lead on videos. Ready to give me a break. This is entirely my fault. I'm extremely sorry. But with that sad tone, let's end this. If you enjoyed this video at any point, hey, subscribe, comment down below anything you'd like to see, or if I missed anything you'd like me to bring up, you know what to do. And that's Lore Maker signing off. This clip at the end, hopefully end this off the good way.
Church,
Yeah?
you ever wonder why we're here?
You know, Caboose, I used to not care. I just went along with the orders and hoped that everything would work out for me. But after all that's happened, you know what I've learned? It's not about hating the guy on the other side because someone told you to. I mean, you should hate someone because they're an asshole, or a pervert, or a snob, or they're lazy, or arrogant, or an idiot, or a know-it-all. Those are reasons to dislike somebody. You don't hate a person because someone told you to. You have to learn to despise people on a personal level. Not because they're red, or because they're blue, but because you know them, and you see them every single day, and you can't stand them because they're a complete and total fucking douchebag.
I meant, why are we up here in the sun when we could be standing down there in the shade?
Oh. Yeah, okay. Let's go stand in the shade.